What's good, YouTube? Welcome back to my channel. Long time no see. I know I've been MIA, but for good reason, trust me. So I'm just gonna I'm gonna jump right into what I've been up to lately. So your girl is officially a Florida licensed real estate agent, or licensed Florida real estate agent. Yeah, that sounds right. Today's video is going to be all about getting pre-approved, and this is the very first step in the home buying process. Now, as an agent, if someone calls me up today and asks me to take them out to look at homes and they tell me that they're interested in buying in my area, the very first thing I'm going to ask them is, have you been pre-approved with a lender? This is a super important question because as your realtor, I want to see you be successful, right? And one of the things that's going to give you that best possible chance of getting that home that you want to put an offer in on is going to be your pre-approval letter. Let's get into why you're here today. Now, what is a pre-approval letter? A pre-approval is going to come from a mortgage lender, and it's going to have an exact amount, and what they're saying is up to that dollar amount, they are willing to finance you. Now, it does not mean that you have the loan. It doesn't mean that they guarantee that they're going to finance you at all, or that they're even going to finance you for the amount that's on the pre-approval. What it does mean is that they've done an initial credit check, they've verified some employment things that they needed to, that you've been at your job for whatever the certain amount of time is that they want to see, and that you do have a certain amount of money that you're able to pay if you're required to pay a down payment. So those are things that they're able to go in and check initially. You really want to be educated and know the kind of things that a lender is going to look for, the kind of things that they're going to ask when you are filling out that first pre-approval application. One of those major qualifiers is going to be employment history. Now, it is pretty standard for mortgage lenders to want to see that you've been in your position for around 2 years. That is pretty standard. I'm not going to tell you that if you don't meet that criteria that you will not get the loan, because that's ultimately up to the person that is writing off on that and giving you that approval. So you may not check that box, but they may still give you the loan. I can't say for sure that you won't get it, but as a safe bet, we want to make sure that where you've been at your job, you've been there for about 2 years. Also, that mortgage lender is going to go ahead and see what other debts you have, whether it's student loans, do you have outstanding credit card debt, do you have a car payment, are you paying any kind of child support? Do you have a mortgage that you're currently paying off? Do you have any expenses that you are obligated to that you'll be paying in addition to the loan if you do get approved? That's also going to be known as your debt to income ratio. That's going to be one of the numbers that's used in getting you qualified for this loan. I mentioned debt to income ratio. We just talked about debt. Now we got to talk about income. So let's say you're bringing in $60,000 a year, but you go and apply for a house that's $650,000 a year. The bank's going to be like, no sir, no ma'am. We got to make sure that if they're giving you the loan, they want to know that you're bringing in enough money to pay the loan. And also, because we don't want to waste your time, you want to make sure that you're filling out an application for a loan that is actually reserved for you. And so what I mean by that, I'm going to use a VA loan, for example. And don't worry, I'll make another video in the future diving deeper into the differences between conventional FHA and VA financing. But for today, I'm just going to use this as an example. So VA loans are reserved for military, active duty military, surviving spouses, and veterans. So if you don't fall under any three of those categories, then if you're out here applying for a VA loan, then you just completely wasted your time because you're not even going to get that pre-approval. That loan is not reserved for you. So we want to make sure that we are filling out an application for either a FHA or conventional loan if we don't fall under one of those three criteria. Make sure that when you are filling out that pre-approval application, you actually do have the money in your bank account that's going to be required whenever it's time for closing on that loan. You know, whether if you are required to make a down payment, if you're going to have to bring that cash to close, if whatever amount that you are saying that you make, or whatever amount you're saying that you need to have for your expenses, you want to make sure that you have that amount of money in your bank account every single month. This is because the bank is going to look at your bank statements, they're going to look at pay stubs, and they're going to make sure that it matches up. Now, you may be saying, Well, if I'm only required to put down, let's say, a $4,000 down payment, depending on the amount that you're financing for, what that loan requires, and you don't have that $4,000 in your bank account right now, but you know for a fact that you're going to have it 3 months down the road, a month down the road, 2 weeks down the road, but you are applying for that pre-approval today and you don't have it in the bank does not know that. They don't know that you are going to have that money at a certain time. They don't know that you're, going to be getting a big bonus from your boss or whatever. So you want to make sure that whatever you're saying that you have in the bank, you have it then when you're applying, not in the future. Finally, they are going to need to look at your credit, obviously. So now as far as the credit score, the minimum credit score is going to depend on the lender. It's going to depend on the type of loan as well, as far as the minimum number that they're going to be looking for. If you are in the process of paying credit cards off, if you're in the process of paying down debt and just overall trying to raise your credit score, I would say wait to apply for that pre-approval until all of those things have gone into effect on your credit. Like if you just paid your credit card off yesterday, but you may be going to apply for that loan today, then that may not necessarily be something that's going to be reflected in your credit score just yet, but it could make a big difference to the lender. So we want to wait until all those major changes have been made and then go ahead and get pre-qualified. So that also means you want to be making sure that you're regularly checking your credit score so that you do know when certain things come off of your credit report, or when certain things that are going to raise your credit score are actually recorded. Now that we've talked about all that great stuff, I hope you guys feel a little bit more prepared, a little bit more knowledgeable, and you just kind of understand what the pre-approval, what the road to pre-approval looks like. And don't forget that if you are planning on reaching out to a realtor and going and looking at homes in your area, just make sure you have that pre-approval letter in hand with you, because if you are putting an offer in on a home and another buyer is putting an offer in on that same house, your pre-approval letter could be the difference between you getting that contract and you not getting the contract to buy that house. So yeah, we want to make sure that we set ourselves up to look as good as we possibly can. I'm going to be leaving a link below in the description for this video to my Facebook business page, which is going to have similar content and some more ways to get in touch with me as well. Don't forget that if you are in the Panhandle area, specifically in Pensacola, Florida, and you're looking to either buy or sell your house, or you could benefit from my real estate services, please do not hesitate to reach out. I look forward to hearing from you guys later in the future, and thank you so much for watching this video.